It all began a week ago when you four were called into the HE offices to address a petition for aid from a neighboring city-state. You received a letter that read, "Brave heroes, we, the peaceful citizens of Halgervanger, request your prompt aid against the wicked tyranny of our king. He has grown violent, unpredictable, and malicious. Every day people are imprisoned, tortured, and even executed for crimes so minor we aren't even sure what we've done wrong. New decrees are issued almost daily, some impossible to follow or completely nonsensical in nature. It is at great risk to ourselves that we few who have the means to resist have sent this letter. Please help us." Now, heroic endeavors typically doesn't get involved in political conflicts of any kind, but the administrators have been riding high on a win streak for several weeks now, and they believe they can leverage their excellent public perception even higher by liberating Halgervanger and potentially expand operations by establishing a satellite office in the region. Halgervanger is roughly a week's travel away from the capital city of Kavalosha, and you four were sent on your way without delay. Now is the 7th morning of your journey, and you know that before day's end, you expect to arrive in this small town. And as the sun crests the horizon, who among you is the first to wake up in your little roadside camp?
I think I have to prep spells, so
Okay.
I think I'd be the first one up with Cheez.
Okay.
But the way he preps spells is he just grabs Cheez by his little arms and he just like sings and dances with him.
What's the song? What song do you sing?
Oh, well, this time it's a little different. He's got, "We're gonna kill a king." Hold on.
We're gonna kill a king. We're gonna kill a king. That's on my list. We're gonna kill a king.
Nice. Excellent. Tell us all a little bit about your character.
Chauncey is a Dumbo rat, rat folk. So if you know rats themselves, he has very giant ears that he tucks into his little newsboy hat. He has brown fur that goes to white by the time it touches his hand.
Hero
points!
boy!
Yeah, they love
Song,
your description
most
so
likely.
much, James Chew. We get a hero point.
Yeah. He wears pretty much what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
He has a little firefox named Cheez. I don't know anything. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's it.
That's fine. That's a perfectly apt description of the character. Thank you. Thank you, James, for that lovely rendition.
I shouldn't have gone
We're going to
first.
kill the king. So Chauncey wakes up to prepare spells with Cheez by doing his little song and dance, which I imagine probably prompts one of the others of you to wake up and describe yourself in detail.
Yes, that would definitely prompt an old grumpy man to wake up the 7th day in a row. This little tune has graced his ears. You know, like, and Hawk's not against waking up early, getting out there, enjoying the morning dew and just the world that is around him. But something, I feel like the last few days have just been a little tiring, and so he's waking up maybe even a little bit stiffer than usual. You know, it's been a while since he's been on a long trek like this. Usually he's only in the woods a couple of days on a hunt. So now he's spent 7 days on the road and stretching his old human joints. He's got runs his fingers through his white beard to try and just wake himself up. Goes over to their water and just splashes a little bit on his face. Kind of rubs the sleep out of his eyes, and as he's stirring, you know, Ajax is right by his side. He kind of like puts his head up, and it's like, oh, we're not going anywhere yet. We'll just hang out here. So yeah, this ranger has finally woken up, started about the day. Probably goes over to the food stores. As they've been walking, he's been gathering little stores of fruits and nuts and things like that we can be eating along the way. And maybe checks on the fire if there's any of the embers left to just warm things up. Get the day going. That's Hawk starting his day.
Excellent. Well, there's 2 of you left. Who wants to go next?
Well, I figure as soon as the sun comes up, Vivian will get out of whatever sleeping situation we have, probably tense at this point.
Yeah.
And she's a alligator lizard folk who stands about 5 foot and some change, but end to end she's about 9 feet long. Long tail, long snout situation. She gets up, she puts on her cap, she starts walking around, just seeing what is, if there's anything out of the ordinary around, just
Sure. Yeah.
casing the joint and seeing
Keep
if there's
walk-
any coffee.
Keep watch around the camp. I don't notice anything out of the ordinary, but then last to awaken.
Yes,
Rias.
Rias is actually under a tree in the shade and everything, and you see him. He's kind of sitting back with his head relaxed and watching Chauncey with Cheez, and he kind of like looks down in his pocket, looks up at Chauncey. You see him just kind of like hunker over to the side, and he pulls out like this dead little furry thing, looks over at Chauncey and throws it into his mouth, and you notice it's actually a tiny little dead rat. And Rias, as he's sitting there, he's actually a very long. He's not an alligator. He's a frilled lizard. He stands maybe about 6'6". He just wears like a black vest with lots of pouches. He's got a couple of belts on as well too, over kind of like this kilt that he wears, and it's all seems like very run down. Like there's pieces missing, there's string hanging off of it, and then also his scales as well too. His coloration is very like brown and reds and blacks, but it seems very faded, and his scales almost look like a sunburn. But lizards they tend to shed a lot. But for him, it's just naturally there's always just patches, like just his coloration is gone. But he has a very nice lizard face, very nice lizard face. As he's just sitting back and he kind of looks at Chauncey, kind of looks over at him and he just like sucks in the tail of a dead little rat. Chauncey looks back and just reaches in, pulls out another one, and starts eating it, having his morning breakfast. And at that same time, as he looks at Chauncey as well too, he just licks his lips just a little bit. He's just like, oh, no. Okay.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So, again, you all expect that at some point today you would actually reach your destination. The floor is kind of yours. I mean, the morning is, you all are awakened. You've got, a sparse but hearty breakfast, thanks to a lot of the foraging talents of your ranger companion, or because you have a steady supply of fresh meats, delicacies. Nothing, you've chosen, again, mostly thanks to Hawk's efforts, your campsites thus far have always been relatively safe and out of the way. You've had good shelter. You're feeling as good as you possibly can, really, after a week on the road. And you know your destination is close to hand. So tell me, take it away. Tell me what happens. How does your morning look?
So Rias would just stand up and then just kind of like wipe himself down and everything, but like, I'm good, yes. Chewy, Chauncey, are you prepared? I know sometimes it takes you a little bit longer talking with your little Cheez.
Hold on, we have one more verse we have to get through, and one more musical dance number. Hold on. And see
Yes, let me know if you need a bite or a hand.
Like twirls Cheez around slowly. Okay, we're done.
Make an occultism check for me, Chauncey.
That's a 16.
16? Okay. You are doing your little dance, and time seems to slow down. And this happens every once in a while. But it's almost like if somebody's trying to call you, but you have really bad reception somewhere. And so like you see like time seems to slow down. Cheez looks at you and you see like this deep flicker in the back of Cheez's eyes. And you think like, oh, usually I get a message of some kind, but then everything sort of fizzles out and then like the world returns back to normal.
Chauncey will stumble a little bit because he's It's kind of like used to the slow motion, but isn't used to the speed up. Just gonna pick him up, and then he's gonna use 2 actions to call.
Yeah.
So go.
Sure. Make another occultism check for me.
18.
Yeah, no, you try to reach out, which you've done many times before. And again, there's this sense of like almost making a connection, and then you can't. You can't quite. You can't. You don't get that. And now Cheez is like wriggling, trying to get in your grasp as you're shaking.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
Hawk just looks at Ajax, and no.
Got nothing for it. Nothing for it.
Vivian's got like a map. She's getting anxious to get there. She's
Sure.
just like,
Make we'll call it society check or perception, whichever one you like. I don't mind.
we'll go with the society, because that'll be a 27.
Sure. So being rather anxious to get there and sort of just kind of waiting for everybody else to hurry up and like, let's get on the road. You've got the map and you've been sort of measuring out the steps. And you would guess, I mean, if these people would hurry up and get a move on well before noon, you could be in Helgervanger. Like you're pretty confident.
All right, boys, if we tighten up, we can get on the road and get there before noon.
Works for me.
I'm totally fine. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll start
We're good.
cleaning up our messes and
Sure.
get them ready to go. Simple enough.
Easy peasy.
Easy breezy.
Cover girl.
I will
Going to
say,
follow with what?
as like Hawk's rolling up his
Yeah.
bedroll and everything. Now, what's our plan of attack here? Because we are hired to kill a king, or fight off a king.
Nope. Kill.
Is that what the paper said?
Yes, it's
It
100%.
said kill.
I have the paper.
I've heard you're pretty good with your paperwork.
I'm excellent.
No, yeah.
Well, I'm guessing that's going to require a bit of stealthiness.
Some
We want,
finesse.
if we, yeah.
You know what? We
finesse.
just get close enough, Hawk, and you just shoot him. It'll be fine. It'll be over like that, right?
I don't know why I just hawk that for sure.
I've seen what
I
Hawk
mean,
can
can
do
you hit him
before.
from 300 feet?
Yeah. I just don't want to. Totally do it. Any time. Any time.
I mean,
I just
he points to a tree branch. You want to hit that tree branch?
I don't need to prove anything. I don't need to prove anything. I can hit that anytime.
All right. So I'll be taking the shot.
Yes.
That what we've determined.
Yeah, kill the shot.
I'm oddly good at killing things whether I want to or not.
Yes, accurate. But I mean, we had discussed also possibly 2 distractions as well. I mean, I do know that the 2 of us are quite good about raising the dead, having that wander around. Yes, a little bit distracting, making sure that the king's not doesn't have any of his guards around.
Yeah, but I have to cackle to get to really, and I don't have a great cackle.
Oh. No good cackles. I also hear that you have to prep spells for you in the morning. That's so weird. It comes naturally to me.
I think I technically really don't know my character well enough. I could not have it needed to prep spells, but I don't know.
Understandable.
I've only been on this show for 7 weeks.
But you know what? Cackling, though, I mean, that calls for good distraction, and we have somebody with good eyes to keep an eye out for us as well. Yes. We've been talking about this plan since the past 20 minutes. We've had 7 days together.
No, I know. I'm just.
Yeah, why didn't we talk about the plan for
No, we
6
we
and 3
did.
4 stay?
We did.
What?
You were looking into your little firefox's eyes a lot.
Look, I just
You were doing little dances.
It was a little distracting, I'm not gonna lie.
It's the only way I'm able to prepare my spells that I possibly not need to do.
Right. That's why we took care of things.
I just feel left out.
I'm sorry.
Shut up.
Well, we're filling you in now.
Okay.
That's why we set the plan now. He shoots, we distract, she perceptifies. That's a word, I just made it up to like it.
I don't think that's
Good word.
Might be tough getting into the city, but the only way to find out is to get to the city.
Have any of us ever been to this? I've never been here before.
Anybody who has any interest in what you might know about Helgervanger before getting there can make a society check. Basically, just anybody who wants to. You
I'm
can
not
all-
would like
thorn, so
to.
maybe this will be
Okay,
better
maybe,
for
yeah,
me.
maybe on this show.
Come on, better society!
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, okay.
15?
15, not as good.
I'm especially interested in whether or not the castle has a moat.
Sure.
I also have a dirty 20.
Okay.
I got a natural one.
Okay. You've not been paying attention to anything that has happened the entire 7 days you've been on the
I
road.
created the dance sequence in the 7 days.
But I would say that with the dirty 20s, so Rias and our lizard folk, you know that from what you know, Helgervanger is a really weird place. It's very, very tiny. It is an autonomous like city-state that they don't really have any resources that you know of. They're completely unremarkable in just about every way. For whatever reason, nobody ever just like absorbed this country into like. It's weird too that they're even able to operate autonomously because they don't import or export anything that you know of. They're this tiny little speck on a map that it's just like I don't know. They feel to you like sort of a relic from a bygone era. But I would imagine Vivian probably did quite a bit of maybe a little bit of research prior to leaving Kavalosha, and their history goes back and back and back and back, and you couldn't even find like the beginning. Like no matter how far back you went in the archives, it was always there. It's an incredibly old little place that is otherwise completely unremarkable, and you wouldn't even know that it existed unless you were like looking for it, or because you got a letter from there.
All right.
It's this weird little just nothing place, but very, very old.
Interesting.
One place. Multiple ways in and out of the city.
I mean, from what you would know just on the map, like, you got a dirty 20. I would say, as far as you know, city is an incredibly strong word to use to describe this place. Not walled, as far as you know. There's no defenses to speak of that you would be aware of. There's almost no military history for the city at all. Like, nobody ever tried to attack it. Nobody ever tried to take it. Maybe because they just felt like it wasn't worth it. And actually, make another society check for me. Just one more. See if you get another
That is a 28.
28. Because you were looking in those archives and you were trying to figure out just like the history of this place, which has almost no history, but has just been around. You find little tiny references to it, like people almost like stumble upon it without even having realized it was there, and they're like, oh wait, there is like a place here. Like, oh, okay, cool. And an interesting thing is that you found references to the monarchy, and no matter where you looked at in the course of its history, it was always the same name.
Interesting.
Now, whether that's simply because they passed the name down, that is known to happen, but with everything else that you were researching, it just seemed a little bit odd.
What was the name?
It was always referred to as King Ronald.
Ronald. Make
If there's a giant clown running this city,
Or just two giant golden arches, like that we have to walk through to get in.
Jim's like,
Can't
don't
wait to see
spoil it,
those
guys.
games.
Jim's like, you ruined the show.
It's over.
Season
Flip the table. All the records that you could find always refer to a King Ronald, and no other sort of leadership that was ever mentioned by name.
All right.
Yes.
So, as you've told us all,
Yeah.
right?
We've had
So
a week.
I know
have
this too,
related- Definitely. Well,
Probably except for him, because
Right.
he was
Yeah,
so busy
you don't
doing
know.
this, he has
Yeah.
no idea.
just doing that.
So, do we think it's like a family name, and it's like Ronald Jr., Ronald III, and so on,
Ronald the 587th.
right?
Yeah, I mean, it possibly could be. There were no numerals after the name, so I have no reference other than it's always King Ronald. So
Unless he's very old and that's the same one.
could be.
That would be some magical thing, though, right?
Maybe he's like an elf or something,
Or Lich.
or a lich.
Those are not good.
No, those are tough, from what I've read.
Yeah.
They only deal with undead. They're not that difficult to deal with. To some. To some. Such as me. Totally fine. I meant me, that's what I meant.
Right, I figured you might.
Yes. Well, perhaps once we get into the city, we do have a contact, yes?
Right, I mean, whoever sent these letters,
Yes. So,
someone's waiting
the letters
for
were
us.
unsigned. Yeah. Or the letter was
hero point!
hero
It was
point.
my hero point! Yes, very good. Thank you, hero point.
They're like, it could be a lich. Let's get him a hero point.
And I need the
I liked
two.
the confident, it's not that difficult to deal with a lich.
Right?
Like, it seems like maybe I should
Undead,
put one in here
undead.
just to,
Yeah.
How to deal with undead.
I don't know, Vivian didn't seem to be too impressed with the idea of a lich either. She's like, yeah, it might be a minor bump if it's a lich, but like we could probably handle it.
Look, I'm just saying we're a group of skilled professionals.
True. Hey, you gotta be confident in your work, you know?
So as soon as we get to town, where should we head? The local pub, library, graveyard.
I'd probably head to the library, but that's just me.
It's fine by me. Records are kept there.
We
Might
could
be
also just, I don't know, walk around, take stock of alleyways and things of that sort.
I mean, if the king just walks out,
Or if the king just walks out.
maybe there's a parade. What are the odds?
Oh.
Parade.
Yeah.
What's the date, Jim?
Well, I would say that you aren't, with your previous checks, you're not aware of any particular holidays or if there was a parade in Helger Bunker.
just
Although I
curious
do
what
want to
day
say
it is, though.
that would be a very Hawk thing for me to have him in a parade and just Hawk just kills him from across the map, and then that's the end of the adventure because he just takes care of it immediately. It's like, oh, okay, well.
Good distractions, yes.
Yeah, you're not aware of any celebrations, really.
I mean, best place, library, and even if there's a pub, finding details out as well.
Yeah. You want to find people who look like they're not happy, people who look like they're trying to do something about it, right?
Yes.
Avoid the guards and any soldiers,
Well, from what we know, there's not many of those, so...
right? Because no military presence. That's what you said.
Not that we're aware of.
It's odd. Somebody's taking care of things, though. All these people going missing, put to death, and all that.
Put to death, yes. We're walking and talking while saying all this, right?
Yeah, I assume.
Yeah.
I usually just assume.
I'm still rolling up that bedroll, guys.
That's all that's been happening the whole time.
Super long bedroll.
Yeah, look.
Picking my teeth. So, I guess once going in, if there's a library or something, you two want to investigate that, and myself and Chauncey can go check out the local pub. Care for a drink, my friend? Makes the meat sweeter. Totally joking. Yes. It starts walking. Shouldn't have said that. My mistake.
He just walks with it.
Maybe we should have told him the plan sooner.
I think we really should.
Maybe we should have been keeping an eye on him.
So you walk a little further, and again, you make good time. The roads around here, the whole trip has been very easy, very pleasant. It's been almost like a little bit of a maybe mini vacation from the chaos that you're usually used to when you're on the job. But before too long, you crest this hill, and down below, Halgervanger lies before you. And as you expected from your research, it is thoroughly unimpressive. There's just a dirt road that runs through a small cluster of buildings, and overlooking all of this on a hill on the opposite side of this sort of valley, this bowl, there is a keep. Along this road, you can see, like, from where you are, you get the vantage point. You've got, like, there is activity down there. There's people moving about their day. On the road itself, you see a woman in red livery who is holding a staff. She's just sort of watching the road, looking around. Next to her, you see. We'll make perception checks. Everybody make a perception check.
How you doing over there, Joe?
Nope, I hate it.
Okay. You doing okay?
No. 9.
9,
27.
27,
16.
17.
17. Rias, your eyes pick out. You actually see this fenced off area. It actually looks like there's like an iron cage down there. And as you're watching it, there are some people just kind of like sitting. Like, it's almost like people just like sitting in the grass, but they're just in this cage, and they're just like picking at the dirt. And they're talking amongst each other, and they'll talk to the woman who is looking back at that. Like, there's some stuff going on. You're not close enough to really pick out much else, but you can see like there's people. But
Does it look like they're arguing at all, or they just seem like they're?
no,
totally
I mean, yeah, you had a
chilling,
really
just in
good
the cage?
perception. I would say that everything seems super laid back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seems like they have prisoners, but they're happy to be in prison, perhaps? Playing in the dirt.
Maybe they know they did something wrong, so they deserve to be in prison.
Accurate. Yes. Would that be their prison? That's just a cage on the
Yeah,
outside.
but look at the rest of the town.
This is true.
Not much to look at. Well, I say we approach with caution.
Yes. Small towns, even such as this, we always approach with caution. Very good. I like your way of thinking, Hawk. It is Hawk, right? I've been hearing this rumor that you changed your name, you drop the H, and it's just Hawk now.
No, there's an H.
There is an H.
It's Orc.
Okay. Still Hawk. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know why no one else heard the H. It's right there. It's Orc.
I can't hear him. He's said it so many times, I can't hear him.
He's gotten older. Definitely it's harder to hear the enunciation of that now.
Is there, as we approach the town, this dirt road, how close does the forest get? Is it like just a plain hill and grass, or is there
Yeah,
cover
the
as we get
hillside,
towards
like, there's pretty open
Okay.
area, like, from where you are down to the bottom.
So we're
of
gonna,
this
from
bowl.
here on out,
So it
we're
would be
probably
very
gonna be in the
difficult
open.
to avoid notice, yeah.
Okay.
So you head down the road, and before too long now, I mean, you're pretty noticeable traveling down in this sort of open area, and the woman in the livery holding the staff. One of the people in the cage actually like points to her and then points at you all, and she like gets up. All of a sudden, she's like, and she stands out in the middle of the road. She says, "Stop, because travel is highly restricted here in this kingdom by the order of the king." And he says, "It is illegal to wear boots. You have to walk barefoot through all the muck, or you'll be..." And one of the prisoners in the cage pipes up and says, the box with the spiders." "Oh yes, we will put you in a box with 100 spiders, which I'm sure you will agree, extremely cruel and unusual punishment, so watch yourself. No boots."
I don't wear shoes.
I don't.
Excellent.
I don't
Then
either.
no
don't
worries
either.
from you three, already obeying the king's rules. Good for you.
Yes, we've heard tales of the king far and
Very important guy here in
wide.
Halgervanger.
Super important.
King,
Yes.
y'all have to do what the king says, or it's the box with all the spiders in it.
Is it just the one box, or do you have multiple boxes?
There
for
are
multiple?
probably a lot of boxes. It's a very big castle and lots of other the dungeon is very big for all the criminals that we have to put there.
Yes. But you say the dungeon is big. It doesn't seem like the town itself is very.
Well, that is because you can see the keep is very big.
Yes.
The town is a good place. I don't know.
Do you have a lot of criminals in your dungeon?
Lots of people who find it difficult to obey the good king's words. Yes.
Do you have a written list of the laws we can take a look
There
at as
is
visitors,
a
or-
list of rules, but it is illegal to read by order of the king. And if you get caught reading, it's 10 days in the box with 100 spiders.
Is it illegal to read in general, or is it just illegal to read the rules?
She looks back to the prisoners. One of them is like, I think it was just all of it, just the whole thing. Yeah, no reading at all. That's what the king said.
Can you at least tell us the rules? You're not reading it. You're just enunciating and exclaiming the rules to us.
Yeah, so there's no boots, no reading.
Okay.
It's what day is it today?
That's what I was asking the sky earlier, and I didn't get my answer. I was curious.
Tuesday. And on Tuesdays, there's no dancing.
Well, that puts him in trouble.
No dancing on Tuesdays, and also it's illegal to be in love. So if there are any of you who are in love, who are falling in love, strictly forbidden. Can't do that here.
What if you love yourself? Because that's really emotionally healthy.
No, you can't, because you are only allowed to love the king because he's very strict. You have to only love the king.
If you love the king, isn't that against the rules?
Sometimes people find themselves in a box of spiders for reasons you don't need to worry about, you know?
All right, so I'm hearing a lot about this box of spiders, right?
I think there are other ones. Aren't there other ones? She turns back to the prisoners. Weren't there other ones? Because I know there was the box of spiders for the boots, but wasn't there other things? Well, yeah, but I don't know. They didn't really care.
What's this situation with the
they were
prisoners?
caught. They were caught dancing this morning. So here they are. Because it's illegal. Because it is Tuesday, so illegal.
So,
Sorry, no.
oh, I'm just trying to figure out the punishment for the crimes, because you got these fellas in this cage for dancing, but
wouldn't you know it? Questioning the punishment and crime thing, illegal.
I'm just trying to
No,
understand.
you're asking a lot of questions which are starting to feel illegal. I don't want to have to put anybody in a box of spiders.
All right. I was just curious. It's not there was no judgment
Curiosity
involved.
has killed a lot of cats around here,
Well,
let
I'm
me tell
no
you.
cat.
Are they in the box?
Some of them, we don't usually put cats, we don't subject animals to the rule of
Oh, that's perfect. I'm a rat.
yet.
So,
But you're sapient, so
how dare
it
you?
counts.
None of us has ever said that about him. I've got to admit, at this point, all I have are questions, but apparently they're all illegal. Mm-hmm. So,
I make a statement. You are truly a guard.
Yes, I'm guarding the road. Good.
Excellent.
It is not illegal to notice that.
Can we go in?
We are
Yes,
going
as long
in.
as you're
take
not
off-
We are
dancing,
going in.
wearing boots.
take off my
right?
boots.
Yes. Dancing again. It is Tuesday, and do not fall in love with anybody here. That is very important.
except the king.
Except the king, you can love the king, and you have to love the king. Actually, that is. It is. It's. Yeah, you
Can
must.
you fall in
Long
love with the king?
Well.
Or is it just like platonic only?
Depends on the day, correct?
Again, we're getting into question territory.
Depends on the day.
Right,
Depends on
yes.
the day. All right.
Yes.
Anyway, enjoy your stay in Helgervanger. Just follow all the rules, and don't get run afoul of the many cruel and unusual punishments, because torture is sometimes involved. Box of 100 spiders, very bad.
I wish I knew your name.
Yes, it's illegal for me to tell an outsider my name.
Yeah.
But
Wait,
just between you and me,
All right.
It's Mindy.
I'm sorry, but you have to go into this right here now. I'm with the King's secret guard.
Make a deception.
That's a natural one! Do I want to roll hero points?
Do you want to use
Or
one
do
of
you
those
wanna-
2 that we have?
Or do you want to go into the box of spiders? I think is the next question.
No, you want to go in the box of spiders.
I think I'm going to keep the natural one and see what happens.
Oh,
You say this, and Mindy looks at you like, really, she's like, I thought these would be the. Wait, is this? Why would Ronald? Are you having a laugh?
Questions?
Question. Tuesday. Yeah,
Very-
no. Yeah, I'm not a guard.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, we all know each other around here. It's going to be very difficult to pass yourself off as a local. Which,
Well, that's why I said the word
probably-
secret.
But I mean,
Look, I'm not a liar.
you just lied.
Well, I'm not a good liar.
Yeah. Don't lie. Also illegal.
Oh, you didn't tell me that one, so freebie.
Sure, freebie.
Did you say something about adventurers?
Are you adventurers? Uh-oh. Better not get into any trouble here, because the king is very strict.
I'm adventurers.
Extremely strict, very cruel person. He does not like anybody trying to come in and upset things. And adventurers are very good at upsetting things, so just keep all that on the down low.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Or else you'll
we're
find
a-
yourself in a box of 100 spiders.
we're a
When-
dance troupe, so we're not going to be doing much today.
Not today.
No.
Today.
Not today.
We're a tap
Tuesday.
dancing dance troupe, so we're really.
Yeah, with the shoes and the.
I'm not saying
It's
anything.
not a good day for
It's,
us, apparently.
Question: if we break one of these rules, do we see the king first and then go into the spiders?
Well, yeah, I think we would round you up and take you before the king. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably what we would have to do if you broke all the laws around here.
We broke all the laws.
All the
Any of the laws,
Okay.
any of them.
Then we would meet the
Well,
guys.
that's good because I wouldn't. And like as he's talking, he reaches in, pulls out 2 pairs of shoes, and he's like, so weird. I wouldn't.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Scuba da
Wait, do shoes count? Because it was boots.
Scuba.
I don't know. Like technicalities.
you're dancing all over the king's laws, so
What are the laws? Can you read me the laws?
you're gonna have to come with me.
Me.
Yeah, you have to come with me.
If you could catch these skills.
It's illegal to run away, so just come with me.
I'm running
Interesting.
away.
We're just gonna have to. I'll call for backup if you're not careful. So, if you don't want any trouble, just
I'm running away. I'm doing it
your friend is running away.
towards.
Well, we're in love, so.
Where do you run?
Inside the city, or
Oh, you're running through the,
Yes.
like you run down the dirt road.
yeah. Well, I was dancing past them.
Oh, okay, I got you. I just need a clear picture of what you're doing. So you go bolting past Mindy, the guard. Okay. What are the other 2 of you doing?
Well, she ran after. She said they were in love, so.
Yeah.
This seems very different than the plan.
It's quite different. You know what? You stay here. We will go. We will capture the 2 of them for you. This will help.
Well, I do now have to take you all before the king,
If I'm
where you
going
will
there
face
anyway,
very harsh punishment. So, if you could actually just bring them back, I can't leave.
yeah.
I can't leave them.
Yes, we will go get them. And we will.
Each of you, since you're standing there, go ahead and make a perception check.
Another dirty 20.
Sure.
23.
23.
Michael Jordan for me.
Mindy says, well, I have to stay here and watch over them. And she points over the cage. And now you notice Hawk, as you're looking over at this cage. It's built very much like a dog kennel in the sense that like there's like this latch that you just like lift up. Like it's not locked or secured at all. Like it's just like this little cage that they built there. Doesn't seem to be secured in any way. other than the door is shut right now. Yeah. So what do you do?
Well, I'm not allowed to ask questions. So.
You can always make statements, though.
Right. Looks like that cage isn't even locked.
All the prisoners, when you say that, are like, "Oh, wait, no, we're very trapped. Oh, it's horrible in here. We've been in here for weeks without food." They all look like perfectly fine and healthy. Like, no,
right.
we're definitely locked in here.
What's going on
it's
here?
Magically.
What's going on here? They're not actually locked up. I can't dance. Look, I wasn't gonna dance, but like he starts putting his boots back on. Look, this is just madness. I mean, where do you even get 100 spiders?
Lots of questions. Mindy is like losing her mind, and I just want to step away to you two. Since you've run down the street, what do you do? What are you doing? Like, where do you go? You see, there's a couple of little buildings. Like, people are now like watching you. They're looking. You're creating quite a commotion now. You're just rushing through the street. Where are you going?
I feel like I would just go out of eye shot and then stop.
Oh, you just like go around the building and watch? Okay.
Wait to see if they take me
Like a
to
run
the king.
past a little bit. Back up. Yeah, I thought we were gonna go to the
love
king.
with me?
Well, yeah, because it's illegal. We're breaking rules, right?
Oh yeah, rules. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Rules.
rules.
Yeah.
So, I thought we were all on the same page where
Yeah,
with
they
the
did-
king
They
thing.
didn't get the
and-
memo.
No,
I
think
literally dished it out to
I'm
them.
gonna peek around the corner. They're still standing there.
That's still.
Yeah,
They're
they're
still
arguing
talking to
with Mindy, and she seems more and more just increasingly flustered.
I just want to say, Mindy's great. She's such a kind personality. I didn't want to have to do this to her, but we really got to.
I mean,
I don't even wear shoes.
it
Where did these
seemed
come
like Yeah, where did they come from?
There's just this pocket. Just things appear.
You just have a magic pocket?
They usually holds my gun, and he like waves the gun.
Oh, all right. Okay, put it. Yeah, all right.
Sorry.
So I guess we're not gonna go immediately towards the king if they're just still standing there.
Yeah, do we walk out and be like, "Hey, take us. I'm sorry."
Do you think these rules seem so loosey-goosey. Do you think that if we just apologize and say, "Oh yeah, it was just a joke," that they wouldn't care?
But no, we still need to. So
I know, but they don't seem to be on the same page as us. So if we get back on their page, you know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah. Because I'm one away from a royal flush, and he like pulls out a thing. He's like, I've killed a queen, a jester, a prince, a 10. This person was just really attractive. I just need a king, and then I've gotten Yahtzee.
I feel like I may have investigated you at some point.
Should not have shown you that then.
It's all right. I'm not worried about that right now.
Okay, so are we walking back?
Yeah, we'll just apologize. I
Okay,
don't really
that's
know
fair.
what else to do since
Yeah,
they're just standing there
okay.
talking to Mindy. I
Guess
thought
we-
we were gonna go get arrested.
I guess we walk around the corner.
Sure. So you guys are finishing. Now backtrack like a minute or two. You're standing there. Mindy is like looking increasingly flustered, and all of a sudden she like reaches to a bag that she's got, and she pulls out some manacles. She's like, "You're under arrest."
All right. I just take them from her and I like loosely put them on my.
She looks visibly relieved. She's like, "Oh my god." Okay.
Yes,
yeah,
I
okay.
take mine, I
You're,
put 'em
you're
around
under
my neck.
arrest. Okay. Arrested. I have to. So here we go to the.
Look, our compatriots, they got turned around. It's
Oh, yeah.
You're both arrested as
Yeah,
well.
under arrest. Arrested.
You got it. You're such a good guard.
She just like hands you some manacles, like because they did it to themselves. She's just like,
I'm wearing mine around my neck.
arrest.
He sees
You as well.
Bolo. He's
All
like,
right.
all right, okay.
I mean, like I can very clearly just like slip my hands out if ever I want to.
We just walk like
They're
this.
just rings on chains.
Yeah.
Yeah, just over large bracelets. She again, Mindy now starts to look visibly relieved. Like, okay, well, you're in for it now. Off to see the tyrannical king.
The king. Yeah, I'll take it off. And my hands are a little bit too big, so I've actually got them like over my thumbs. 'Cause she gave me like the smaller ones.
Yeah.
Like this.
Takes you up the road all the way to the keep. You can see there's nobody like at the front gate of the keep. Like it's just open. Just marches you on in. And you can see everybody perception checks all around. Oh, I'd love to.
Mama, 26.
Natural 20!
And 26.
24.
32.
Natural one.
Everybody except Chauncey.
You should have told him the plan.
As you're being marched through the town, and people like the people who live here are seeing all this, and you see there's almost like this like relief mixed with excitement. People are very like this seems to have really caused quite a positive charge amongst the townsfolk as you are being led up to the keep. At some point, Hawk, you look back, and the people who were in the cage have like just opened the door, and they're like kind of looking. And when one of them sees you look back, like slinks back into the cage and closes the door. But they march you up to the keep, straight up into the throne room, which is a vaulted chamber with splashes of color along the walls from stained glass windows depicting the triumphant reign of a regal figure. Presumably, the regal figure who is sitting on the throne right now, all in black. He has a sharply pointed goatee, and he is literally, as you walk in the room, twirling the ends of his mustache. But then he like notices you, and he had a book in his other hand. He like throws it to the ground, and he stands up, and he's how criminals!
Yes.
How dare you come to depose me, the rightful king of Helgervanger? I will put you in the dungeon for your transgressions. Yes, it's boxes with 100 spiders for each of you. It's going to be very bad, and I can do that. I can do whatever I want, for I am the king, and you know what I want to do is harm to all of you. Even if you didn't do a crime, I'm going to do harm to you because I'm the king. I can do whatever I want. What rat person? What do you want?
Just one sec. And he like huddles everyone around. He's like,
Yeah.
he has no confidence.
No.
Like I'm not terrified of any. I feel bad that we're gonna
This
have
whole
to
town.
kill him.
Town, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is it?
Did he write the letters himself?
See, is this
You
like?
know-
I don't.
How
Can
big
I-
do you think the spiders are?
I mean,
I don't think at this point. I don't think there even are spiders.
I don't. Makes a lot more
Yes.
sense.
See.
You all, as you're huddled up, notice that the king has like stepped down and is getting a little bit closer and like straining to hear what you're saying.
Can I roll a perception check to see what book he was reading?
Sure.
Oh yes.
Go for it.
That was what. How to be more confident.
21.
21. It is. It looks like a book of plays. You don't recognize the author, but you recognize the title as like an anthology collection of plays.
Okay.
Says, up, no whispering. That's another 10 years in the spider box for each of you, and there's nothing you can do about it because, again, king, not kings. My kingdom, my rules. So it's about to get very bad for all of you. Nothing you can do about it, right?
Your mercy, King Ronald. Oh my goodness. Is there any way for mercy? Please, we don't like spiders.
Nope, no mercy for me. I am unmoved by your pleas, and let the cruelty commence. He actually
not the
steps up to you, Rias. He says, let the cruelty commence, and he smacks you. Yes, that's right. I, the king, can do whatever I want. Can't be stopped.
You're a madman.
Yep.
Why would you do such a thing?
Because I'm evil.
So evil.
I do things like that all the time.
Johnson.
To children sometimes too, because I'm very, very bad.
Don't let him smack you. He's so evil.
And no one can stop me.
So I assume you have
No
a lot
one.
of enemies then.
I killed all of them. I don't have any enemies. No one can stop.
Do you?
Okay.
Do he like? Do you want someone to stop you?
Well, all right. You know, I've done a lot of self-reflection since you arrived.
What is happening?
And I can see I've made some mistakes. Really messed up around here. You know, you all actually, I'm inspired by your goodness. Very together, all of you. Very virtuous, very righteous. You know, just the kind of leadership that Helgavanga needs. You know what? You know what? I surrender. I surrender.
No, I did that first.
Yes, we'll just take those off. Yep, I surrender. Abdicate the throne. I'll
wearing
even
a
go
crown?
into exile. You know, just one of you can take up the crown and.
Can we ask you some questions first?
Oh, thank God. Oh, goodness, thank you. As soon as you take the crown and place it on your head, he runs over to his throne. He grabs a bag from behind it that was like packed and ready to go. He says, well, King Ratman, you lead Helgavanger. May you reign for 1,000 years.
Is that how long you reign for?
Well, that's not, questions are illegal. I'm not
Are
the king
there
anymore.
questions
No, they're not
illegal?
illegal anymore. Questions are not illegal anymore.
Can we detain him? So
Detain
we can...
him immediately.
All right.
And it's at about that moment that you hear the sound of a bell. Very deep.
Those aren't good.
Dong,
Nope.
dong.
The three of us should just leave now.
And
You can't leave my people.
the king is like stepping back away from all of you four and is like, well, about time to hit the in exile.
Wait,
time
wait,
to hit
no,
the
I didn't
dusty
exile you.
trail.
I didn't exile you.
And the air starts to take on this very deep, infernal red hue.
Oh, well, that's fine.
You smell smoke and sulfur,
Oh, that's home.
and a crack opens in the middle of the air, in the middle of the chamber. This gush of hellish heat washes over all of you, and a demented howl fills the room. And a creature steps through this crack. My time is at hand! I, Felkatha, have come to take my due from the king of Helgavanga, as the ancient pact demands. Who among you pathetic worms is the king? And you see this tall, red-skinned devil, two great horns protruding from his head, his beard like a wriggling mass of tentacles, and he steps into the room and observes you all with a fiery gaze. King Ronald says, the rat man is the king. That's the king.
Shut up.
He's the king. You took the crown. You put it on your head yourself. I watch you do it. I abdicated the throne. You took the crown. You're the king. He's the king. And Felkatha looks to you and says, is it true? Are you the king of Helgavanga?
I mean, define king.
You wear the crown. And now you will face my challenge as the ancient pact demands. For 1,000 years, you have prospered and lived by the grace of the deal signed in blood. And now I have come to collect. Yes.
So, excuse me, Mr. Devil. So you said all that stuff that you just said, and that we've prospered. We just got here today. He's wearing the crown. That guy didn't want it. She's gonna point to the guy.
I do not care.
Okay.
Makes
The
sense.
pact demands that the king answer the call to a challenge. This pathetic worm is the king, and I will crush him,
What do you mean by
and all who stand by his side.
All right, well, best of luck, John.
I'm a prisoner. I don't know. What to
See, we are
Like, no. See, I have Kelsang too.
Minor God.
What do you mean by challenge?
Yeah, what's that look like?
What's that? What do you mean by challenge?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the paperwork?
What do you,
Look
can I
like?
see the contract?
Yes, contracts must be reviewed.
Yeah, standard contract thing.
Yeah.
Do you know Randall?
Looks kind of deflated. And another crack in the air opens, and a much smaller, devilish still figure steps through, wearing a suit tie and spectacles. Says, they want to see the ancient pact, and so fine. Okay. Reaches into a case at his side, starts throwing out some papers, pulls out this black cased scroll, and unfurls it for you. Says, yep, so it sees, duly signed, reign for 1,000 years in prosperity, Halgervanger will,
It's got a big
unbroken
cheese.
lineage, yada yada, etc.,
Cheese is
etc.
looking at
At the
it.
end of the 1,000-year reign, you will be challenged, and if the king fails the challenge, his soul and all the souls of the people of Halgervanger are forfeit, doomed to eternal pain and suffering, etc., etc. Signed here by one king of Halgervanger. Which I believe currently happens to be you. So, as you can see, the contract does simply state that the king of Halgervanger must answer the challenge or automatically forfeit soul and the soul of everybody in the town, of course. We would then, of course, be establishing an infernal portal here in the grounds formerly known as Halgervanger once we take over, and we do intend to do sort of a hostile takeover of the entire region. This will be sort of our foothold in the mortal realm, so to speak. It's gonna be a good time.
Is there a subclause that says if my soul's already part of a pact with the devil, that this is null and void?
I'd have to do some research, but I don't think it would nullify it. No, not necessarily.
Would the devils have to fight over his soul?
Let me call Randall.
Yes.
I'm sure he want to talk about this. And he holds cheese up to it.
Sure. There is nothing but the occult version of static. You get no signal.
Just like shaman deep music. I'm not getting a signal here. I really need the switch covers.
I mean, if we could hear directly from this other devilish being with which you have a pact, maybe we could establish some kind of precedent here. But as it stands, all we know currently is that you are the king, and if we can't resolve this matter through a challenge, then we can simply move in and take over immediately. So I guess that leaves it down to the question of, do you accept the challenge, or are you going to go ahead and refuse?
Questions illegal.
Hold on. Can I have a moment?
Oh yes, please. Talk to your counsel, of course.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. I messed up.
We should have told him the plan.
I messed up pretty bad.
Yeah.
Good news is you're forced to help me out of this mess up, because if you don't, a demon onslaught will circumvent the world.
Right, that would be bad.
So
Yeah, take the challenge will help.
Will you take the cuffs off first, King?
yes, yeah, take it off.
Oh, King, you're so nice. Thank you.
I
Greatly
am a
appreciated.
gracious man.
He has now released his helper warriors.
I accept.
Excellent. Then let the challenge begin, but not before I introduce you to my champions.
Oh, excellent.
Wait, what?
Shit.
We really should have looked at that closer.
There's multiple champions, or
Indeed, Felkatha claps once more. Come forth, Stevelax the Devourer! And you see a crack open in the air, and an amorphous mass of flesh appears. It is constantly seething and writhing. You occasionally see faces and hands stretching outward as if damned souls were trying to claw their way free from his form. Come forth, filth monger! And you hear a loud insectile buzzing as a horrifying mix of cherubic features and dung-fly parts appear. This monstrosity smells heavily of decay and offal. Come forth, Stacy! There is a puff of smoke, and you see a handsome woman in her early 30s. She wears a light brown hair and a ponytail.
I call Stacy. I call Stacy.
You have accepted my challenge, mortals. Do you still choose to stand before me and my champions?
Oh, it's you and them? Oh.
We get to step back a few paces, right?
Yeah,
to
can
start?
we be 300 feet back?
To start, and then we
Yeah,
start
and
and we
then
run
at
towards each other.
Full Hawk, we are on the
Same page.
Hand of the king right here. Hand of the king.
Cool.
Which hand?
I don't know what's my weak hand. The left hand.
Yes, because you draw with your right, correct?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
yes, your left.
The demon or the devil in the suit steps forward and says, "Well, no, you're not. This isn't a fight. It's going to be a competition." Yes.
Wait, what?
Yes, we're not. Let's calm down, everybody. Nobody's here to kill anybody. I mean, at least not yet. No, there's going to be a competition.
Oh, I definitely thought
The game was game was decided 1,000 years ago when the
Oh,
king of Helgervanger.
We weren't
Wait,
here 1,000.
yeah,
we got here
no.
today,
What's the
man.
game?
I've been king for maybe 15 seconds since you got here. It was an unfortunate mistake. that
So
no one can blame anyone for.
Hawk says, "What's the game?" And at this point, Felkatha pushes the smaller suited devil out of the way, looks down at each of you and says, "The game is dodgeball." So, the devils sort of step back for a moment and they say, "Take your time, consider your fate, and then the challenge will begin."
Do we?
Like how much time?
And do we get like a ref?
Yeah.
The devil who's been wearing a suit the whole time says, "Oh, yes. Oh, sorry. I never introduced myself. I'm Osfelix, the Crushing Burden. I'm actually going to be the referee here, adjudicating the match. Now, I know what you're thinking. He's a devil. How can we trust him?
Yep.
But I want you to know I hate Felkatha. He is a huge dick, and I cannot stand him. Yeah, you. I hate you. Personally, I hope you lose. It'll be super embarrassing. We'll all be laughing. Now, that being said, if you lose and we get to claim the material plane for hell, great for us, So I'm good either way, Totally fair.
How many rounds is this played to?
Oh, this is just winner takes all.
Oh.
Do your best. Are you all familiar with dodgeball? Do you know how this works?
No.
Would you like a refresher on the rules?
I mean, you can't have a refresher if you have no idea what it is.
That's a good point. So we to tell you the rules of
Please,
dodgeball.
yeah.
Okay. So the rules for this, sort of out of character, because I don't know how deep we need a lesson on actual dodgeball, is that it's basically the rules. You hit somebody with a ball, you hit somebody with a rubber ball, and they're out. The last team standing wins. It's 4-on-4, obviously. You'll be on a court, divided into two halves. If somebody throws a ball at you, you have a reaction to try to catch it if you want. If you succeed, the person who threw the ball is out. And you get to bring back one of your teammates who's already been knocked out. So it's basic playground dodgeball rules. That's all you got to worry about. I will say I've prepared for all of you a special action sheet. Because on your turns, obviously, you're not going to be attacking with your weapons and spells necessarily. So you have your own special actions, throwing a ball and its effects, and you all have your special reactions if you want to try to catch or block a ball. Because you can, if you have a ball in your hands, you can block a ball that's thrown at you with it, yada yada, etc. We all know what dodgeball is.
Yep.
Yeah. Even if you get knocked out, I don't want you to think, oh no, my turn comes up, I have nothing to do. You can still, from the sidelines, either encourage your teammates, try to demoralize the opposition, or provide a little defense by shouting warnings to your allies down below. So just when it comes to your turn, if you're out, still have options, still have things you can do. The other thing that I want to mention is that for this, it is forbidden to do anything that would cause hit point damage to an opponent. But any other ability you have is fair game. If you have something else you can do that doesn't deal hit point damage that would impact the game, go for it.
All right.
All good.
Okay.
Okay. Excellent.
Do we get timeouts?
Yes. You can call it. Each team can call one timeout.
Neat.
And where are we playing this game of dodgeball?
Oh, we've got this sort of extra dimensional space we've prepared for the challenge, and we'll just zip everybody up there as soon as you all are ready to begin.
All right.
Okay.
Are you feeling good, King?
No.
No, not feeling good either. I would suggest, if anything, he did mention it is against the king, so we should definitely try to watch Chauncey's back the best that we can. Because they might be gunning for him.
It's a team challenge.
Oh, it is.
As long as someone's in.
Yes.
But I'm fine with that. And Hawk's actually going to take off his pack and just kind of organize it over on the wall. Put his bedroll there, the pots and pans that he carries with him. He's like, I don't think I'm going to need that. Takes his kukri off his belt and stabs it in the ground. Takes his dagger, stabs it in the ground. Then he takes his bow and he's like, you think nah.
I think you shoot a dodgeball at that.
You think I could just... it depend on the... No. And so he's just kind of taking off his robe, making sure he's as he starts stretching.
Sure. You gotta be limber.
Gotta be limber.
Chauncey's painting bullets still look like dodgeballs.
I don't think that's how that works.
And
Are you sure?
as we're prepping, you see Rias just reach down. Hawk, you've seen it before. He just takes his finger, slices his hand open just in case, and licks up some of his blood, and you see a little glow about him.
Ah.
Yes,
Ew.
I cast false life.
False
myself.
life on yourself. As you are all prepping, you notice that Felkatha is over on the other side of the room with his team, and he keeps glaring over at all of you. And all of a sudden, he gets down and starts doing one-armed push-ups, and he's just eyeing each of you in turn.
This guy's a douche.
He's flexing on us right now.
I absolutely hate that.
Is there a small pebble or something?
Oh, sure,
small?
yeah, you want, yeah.
Or an apple. I'm guessing this is a king's room, right? So there's
Yeah.
an apple.
Sure.
Hawk just walks over, grabs the apple, and points to a little candelabra, and just looks dead at the guy doing one push-up, and then just whips it over there.
Make an attack roll.
See
how good this is.
We're gonna see how good
how
I
good
can
it is.
intimidate back. Come on, dice. Oh no, that is just all the way across the table.
7.
It was out of the box.
I mean,
That's
that's
out of box. I mean, yeah, true. Here you go.
here. We gotta get it in the box. We gotta get it in the box. So that's a 19.
Oh, now.
Plus a 13
so weird.
is 32.
Sure. So you just whip this apple at the candle, and it doesn't at first. So it hits the flame exactly. So splatters against the wall, leaves the candle completely untouched, but the flame just wicks out. And you see Felkatha gets up. He's like, what? You think you're tough? You think you're big? You think you're strong? No, you're nothing. You're what are you 200? You're gonna die soon. You're stupid mortal human. Doesn't even matter if you win here today.
I'm sorry. I can't hear you behind all that fear in your voice.
I'm not afraid. I'm afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of anything. Let's do this. Let's start this challenge. I'm gonna crush these guys.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. At the King's Declaration, it is actually Ospheliax, the Crushing Burden, who now claps his hands, and the world begins to blur all around you and shift. You are instantly, all of you, transported from the keep to a large plain of polished wood floating in a hazy red void. There is a black line dividing the plain in half. You are all on one side of the line, and the Infernal Squad, including Felkatha, Filthmonger, Stevelax the Devourer, and Stacy, are on the other.
Stacy.
Sitting on this line between the two teams are 4 red balls. All of your weapons and equipment are gone, except for your clothing. Floating in the infernal void just off the plain is Ospheliax, who is regarding you all. He says, all right, we all know the rules. I want to see a clean match. No cheating. If you'll all go to the respective edges of your side of the court, we will get this started.
Excellent.
Felkatha and the devils line up on the far side of their court, and they're all just watching you. You can see like steam snorting out of Felkatha's mouth, or his nose, as he's just glaring at each of you, and he's like almost shaking. He's so intense right now. Do you do anything? Anybody have anything else before we get started?
No, go ahead. I'll go after you.
I was going to ask
Sure.
if devising a stratagem has to be within the rounds, or if I could start devising one, right?
Typically, you would devise that like on your turn as an immediate thing. But yes,
I-
you can use that ability for sure. Yes.
Am
that
I
is
able to
something you
cast
can
anything before we start?
do. What do you want to cast?
Haste.
Haste. You don't really know if it's in the rules. You're not sure.
I mean, they technically said as long as it wasn't damage. Oh,
Says
to
you can cast during the
something.
match. You're not sure. You're not sure. What I'm asking is, do you want to start casting a spell?
I want to ask.
Oh, okay, great, yeah, okay. Ospheliax says, oh, nope, sorry, no spell casting prior to the start of the match.
Had I done that, what would have happened?
You would have immediately been out.
See, guys.
Yeah.
This is why I'm king.
Yes. See, questions in that sense were good. Never mind, I forfeit what I was going to ask.
Although you notice, no one seemed to notice while you were still in the material plane, you cast false life in yourself, and nobody seemed to notice. Nobody said a thing.
Okay.
I would like them tested for enhancements.
What? Detect magic, bro. Detect magic right now. You won't find any magic here. Go ahead, detect it.
I detect magic.
There's no magic. It's like, I told you, bro, no magic here. Play clean, I don't need magic to beat you.
Hawk just puts his hand on the wall, because I'm pretty sure that's how you start.
Yeah.
You gotta start with your hand on the
All right.
wall, right?
No, Rias kicks his tail back there, so his tail is
Oh, there
touching
you
the
go.
wall.
Nice.
Oh.
So you all line up. You get ready. Ospheliax, the Crushing Burden, brings an iron whistle to his lips. He shifts his gaze first from one team to the next. And then you all hear a sound like the shrill scream of agony from the whistle. Roll initiative.
Oh, come on.
Oof, not great.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, there we go.
Let's start
There we go.
with Chauncey.
23.
23 for Chauncey. Nice.
Do we have the same
Rias.
initiative?
We have the same initiative. I also got a Michael Jordan gym.
We're gonna have a roll off because we have the same.
You have the same?
bonus.
Well, perception, though.
What's your perception?
9.
Yeah.
Okay, roll off.
Roll off!
Roll off. Do it.
That's a natural one.
17.
Better now than
Let's
later.
get it out. Let's get it. All of my. Sorry.
Hello? Would you like these
King,
back?
you must calm down. That's not very kingly of you.
My dice are really messing.
Let's see here. Hawk.
19.
19 for Old Hawk.
Yeah.
Wasn't quite as quick on the draw as some of his teammates, I see. Vivian.
6.
6! Vivian,
than some.
no! Did you add your perception bonus? I think your perception bonus is higher.
My
than-
perception? I get to add perception?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
yeah, that's
because it just says
for
initiative plus 0,
says, like,
so I was like,
34.
oh.
No, for initiative, you typily roll perception for
Oh,
initiative, and in this
alright.
case, yeah, so it's good.
16.
Oh, that's better.
Much
That's
better. That makes way more sense. All
I
right.
got nothing for initiative. This is horrible.
I gotta put my guys down. First off the wall is Velkatha, who comes charging towards the middle. Grabs one of the balls, leaps into the air, and chucks it at Rias. Making a ranged attack. Oh no. That would hit an armor class of 30.
What in dodgeball? How does it work if that's a crit, Jim?
If it's a crit, what that means is not only is it's gonna bounce off of you and possibly hit a nearby teammate unless they can make a reflex save. Now you do have some options for reactions
Another
if
reaction.
you want to take one. I believe you can make an attempt to catch
I
them.
will
You don't have a ball to block right now, but
Yes.
you could make an attempt to catch.
I will try to catch.
Okay, so an attempt to catch is going to be an acrobatics check, but the DC is the attack roll that came at you. So it's a DC 30 acrobatics.
Oh no.
Well, look, Jim, if I roll an at 20
Yeah.
and I add my 1, it gives me a 21. Will that still like be really good because it's a nat 20?
Yeah, no, I don't think that could do it. I think you're just going to get blasted.
Darius is standing there, he's like, okay, what's up?
But if you, well, no, because that would be a failure.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, there's just nothing. I mean, you're just like almost frozen in fear at the wall, and like it's just you can see smoke and flames trailing off the ball, and it's just zooming towards you, and you all see in slow motion as it crushes into his face, and he's like, and instantly your perspective shifts, and you are like on the sidelines on these like bleachers that weren't even there before, just looking down at the court. Now it was one action to stride, pick up the ball as an action, and throw as an action. So that was my 3 actions, but the ball hits you so squarely that it bounces off of you toward Hawk. Uh-oh. Now Hawk, you for free, this is not a reaction, just make a reflex save.
Okay, reflex save.
Yes.
Oh boy. 20.
20? So it's not that hard to dodge a bouncer. So you just duck out of the way as the ball like goes zooming over your head and lands nearby.
Okay.
And now, after Felkatha's turn, it is Rias' turn. Now Rias obviously got knocked out right away, but you do have some options from the sidelines.
I want to look down at Demon Guy and say, "Hey, you! Coward, have to go right away, don't you? We're going to still defeat you." As I like lean kind of out, and I want to try to intimidate
Okay,
him.
make your intimidation check to see if you can demoralize. And I assume your target is Felkatha?
Yes.
All right.
26.
26. He looks up at you, and you actually can see, it's not that he's like afraid really, but he's like really flustered. He doesn't know how to handle this. He's like, shut up, I beat you easy, I'll beat all your friends easy. He's very flustered, so he is effectively frightened one. You've successfully intimidated him.
Well, it says if I succeed in the approach, the foe is frightened too.
Oh, so he's frightened too, my bad. Frightened too. Frightened too.
Oh, poopy, and I'm away from everybody else, aren't I?
What does frightened 2 do? What is frightened?
It's like a -2 for being.
-2 to everything, but I believe it also applies to his armor class. So he's going to be a little bit easier to hit because he's so shaken by these words.
How far away? Because I'm sitting like sideline and up. How far away would you say I am from my team?
I mean, I would call it 40 feet.
40 feet. Okay, I'm
From
too
them,
far
yeah.
then. Okay. Can I just make oh no, that's 2 actions for lookout. Can I just make a simple perception check? I mean, obviously I can't.
Yeah, you just want to like observe and
Yeah,
see what you
yeah,
see.
just-
sure. Maybe
just
I can,
observe.
because you can recall knowledge to see like, okay, what are the strengths and weaknesses of some of your
Yeah.
foes? Like, yeah, that's something you can do.
That's only a 16.
Who is your target?
I was gonna look at Stacy.
Stacy.
Yes.
You're looking at Stacy. Stacy, with a 16, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary. She just seems like a very limber-looking, like athletic woman who's like pumped to play some dodgeball. You don't get any other additional information.
Okay.
Go team! Go team, go! Chauncey, it's your turn. The ball that almost hit Hawk has rolled to your feet. There are 3 more balls on the line. You have your actions at your disposal. What do you do?
I'm going to pick it up
Okay,
and then cast invisibility.
nice. You cast invisibility, wink out of existence. Nice,
And
love
that
it.
That is my turn.
That is Chauncey's turn. The creature that looks like a mixture between a fly and a cherub is like buzzing around over at the start line and moves about halfway up to one of the balls, and then does a very similar thing, just like makes a couple of arcane gestures in the air and just disappears. But nothing else happens. That was their whole turn, which takes us to Hawk's turn. Hawk, you narrowly avoided a close call there, but it's your action. All 3 balls that you can see are currently on the line. What do you do?
Hawk's going to run up to the line.
Okay.
Now I have quick draw, so I can.
I would say you can pick up a ball as a free action.
and chuck it.
Yeah, I like that. I'm good with it. Yeah.
I like that.
Got that quick draw.
So I'm going to do that and hurl this dodgeball right at the big boy.
Right at Felcatha. Okay.
Right at the big boy. Let's go. Oh gosh, out of here. That was out of the box, so we're not counting those. Not,
Oh my god.
Stop it. Okay. 24.
24. Okay. Felcatha, the ball looks like it's coming right at him. Especially because he's a little shaky. He's distracted by yelling up at Reese, and just at the last second, he like turns and sees the ball coming at him. And as a reaction, he's going to try to catch the ball.
Okay.
But if it doesn't catch it, like it looks like he is definitely on track to hit him. So make an acrobatics check as a reaction, and that is a 25. 25 to catch. So he catches the ball.
That means I'm out.
And that puts you out. So there is your perspective shifts, and you're sitting right next to Rias.
Good attempt. Good try.
We're in a lot of trouble.
We'll be fine. Chauncey's invisible, and I'm sure Vivian will be okay too. We have a chance.
I'm the only one on our field.
That you can see.
For all you know, Chauncey's just left. Chauncey, he's just gone. He's not even in the game
Chauncey's
anymore.
on the other team now. He's diverted.
Stacy is next up, and she
Great.
runs off the wall, runs to the nearest ball. There's still 2 left on the line. She grabs one of them, and then runs backwards a little bit to stay on the court. She just has the ball in her hand. She took 2 strides, and she grabbed the ball, and she's just holding it and waiting and ready.
Smart.
Which takes us to Vivian's turn.
All right. I would like to devise a stratagem.
Okay, who is your target?
You know what? Let's go with Mr. Shaking in his boots.
Okay. So you can roll. You can basically pre-roll an attack.
Oh, come on.
I know.
Okay, that is an 18 on the die.
Okay. That's a very good devise a stratagem roll.
That is.
So now, if you attack him, you can use that die.
Uh-huh.
If you decide to do anything else, you would roll any other dice you would need to. But in order to attack that guy, you can just substitute that roll. So,
Okay.
what you want to do? That was one action.
I'm gonna grab a ball and throw it at him.
Well, so you devise with one. You run up
Yes.
to the ball. You
That's
grab
true.
it.
I grab
And
one.
now you have one in your hand, but you don't have a third action to throw.
heck. All right.
But
then
you do have your hands full now, which can be useful for blocking.
Yes.
And you at least have a ball, so that's good.
Cool.
And the last up is Stevelax. Now there's no balls for Stevelax to grab. So he just sort of like starts like almost like just oozing forward, and he steps up next to Felkatha and is sort of like providing some screen there. Like his whole thing, like he's just like getting ready to catch anything that comes at Felkatha.
Smart.
And it is the top of the round, and it is Felkatha's turn. Felkatha looks around. He's like, "Where's that rat? Where's that stupid rat? I'm gonna. And he can't seem to think of what to do. So he just throws wildly where he thinks Chauncey was. Now the first thing he's gonna have to do is a DC 10 flat check because he can't see you. You didn't move. Did you move after you went invisible?
No.
No. So he's at least targeting the right space. So it's a DC 10 flat check just to target you, and if he misses, he's gonna whiff entirely. 14 on the die. So he at least now gets the attempt to strike at you. Throws the ball. Oh, that is it's a total of a 17.
No, I missed it.
Whiffs, so he just chucks the ball, and you see it's almost dead on, but because he couldn't see you, it like whizzes right by your head, bounces off the wall, and like rolls over, and is now basically is basically at your feet. The ball is right there. You still have one in your hands. You've got the ball at your feet. He is looking like extremely upset, and he backs up a little bit to give himself some distance, but he doesn't have anything else he can do because he doesn't have a ball. Rias, it's your turn again. He goes down to frightened 1 at the end of his turn, but he's still obviously a little bit out of sorts. What are you going to do? You can see things are dire down there.
Who all has a ball on their side right now? Just Stacy?
You saw Chauncey grab a ball, but you can't see him.
Yeah.
You see there's a ball on the court, and you see that Vivian has one in her hands. Stacy has one in her hands.
Okay.
Where's the other one? I think.
The fly.
Chauncey on the floor, Vivian, Stacy.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okie dokie. Oh, and you're out now too. Because the only person with a ball that I can actually see is Vivian. I want to do lookout as I'm looking at Stacy as well too. Just like, Vivian, be careful of Stacy. So it's a perception check against her deception DC, right? Okay.
So just roll a perception check on Stacy.
Oh, natural 20.
Nice, critical success. Okay, so
9.
now if Stacy throws that ball, regardless of who she throws it at, you can shout a warning because you're like watching Stacy like a hawk. You know she's the threat. So as soon as she throws the ball, you can react to give somebody else the bonus.
+1 bonus to any reaction roll they make to catch, block, or die.
And this was a critical success because you rolled natural 20. So.
The bonus also applies to the target's AC.
Right, so you get a +1 bonus to AC against Stacy and a +1 to any reactions you make against a throw that she does. Excellent use of your turn. And Chauncey, you're invisible. You've got a ball in your hand and a ball at your feet. What do you do?
Chauncey very quickly is going to chuck one ball at the blob.
Okay.
Second action, reach down. Third action, chuck another one at big guy.
Big guy. Okay, great. You're going to go for both of them. So chuck a ball at the blob. That blob is going to be flat-footed because you're invisible. So that's going to be a further decrease to their AC. Go ahead and check your ball.
Oh, yeah!
Natural 20.
That
is a natural 20!
Get it. Critical hit, which means the ball is going to bounce and potentially hit a second target. Steve Lex is standing there, and he's just looking around, and all of a sudden, you chuck the ball, comes out of nowhere. You appear, because you make an attack, and as Steve Lex whips his head towards you, the ball just cracks him in the face. His whole body bends backwards, and the ball continues through. And now Felkatha is going to have to make a reflex save to try to dodge that bouncer. Maybe not. That's a terrible roll. What's his reflex save? 16 or 17. So barely makes it. It's a DC 15 to dodge a bouncer. Barely makes it.
Cool.
You got that
But you
second
do
shot.
take out, and then there's a. You all see this blink, and now on the bleachers, but sort of separated from you, Steve Lax is there. And he looks over you, and he's like, "Oh."
Yeah, feels bad.
It's gonna be so mad at me later. This sucks. But you reach down in a quick motion. You grab the other ball. You said you wanted to make an attack against Felkatha. Go for it.
Yep.
And Falcatha used his reaction to move, or no?
No, dodging. The reflex save to dodge is not a reaction. Yeah.
So that is a 29.
29.
With a -5 for second attack?
It's a second attack. That's true.
So 24.
24 is still a hit. Nice. And he's still frightened one.
Still find one.
Felkatha doesn't have anything in his hand, so he's gonna try to catch the ball. He still has his reaction left. But, well, it would be, I would meet the DC exactly, but because he's still frightened one, misses it by one. Yes! There is a blur, there's a flash of light and a blur, and Felkatha is now on the bleachers.
All right,
And he's
all
like,
right,
no! No, this is impossible. They must be cheating. They're cheating. I know. This is the stupid mortals. They can't beat me.
They're pretty good at this game, though.
Man, excellent turn, Chauncey. He truly is the king. Truly is the king. Then one of the balls disappears. Just it was laying on the ground. You hear this zzz, and then it just disappears. Nothing else happens yet. Hawk, it is your action.
Hawk's watching the action, and I see the ball disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll the flat check to then roll the lookout? You know,
I would say that you can still, you want to watch that area,
Yeah.
like you pay special attention to it. You have to roll the flat check to see, but yes, if you pass the DC 10 flat check, you can then roll a perception check.
13 on the dice.
Hey, that passes it, so go ahead and make your perception check.
All right, so now we're gonna perceive. 15 plus 12, 27.
You are fairly certain that even, like, not only are you watching the space, you're looking for subtle motions in the air, but you also remember that distinct buzzing sound when it moves, and you got your ears tuned in, you're on it, you're pretty confident that creature makes an attack. You can shout a warning just in the nick of time, giving whoever your target will be a bonus. It is a regular success, so it'll be just a +1 to any reaction that they make.
Great. That's Monsoon.
Stacy's turn.
No.
Stacy sees that Vivian's standing there, got a ball in her hand, sees Chauncey standing there. Thinks that Vivian is the more dangerous target 'cause she's got a ball in hand. Even though it's a trickier shot, she seems confident. She sort of winds up, runs up, and just boom, chucks it. Now, you can use your reaction now to give, that'll give you a +1 bonus to your armor class. And if you want to make a reaction as the ball comes in, it's going to give you a +1 bonus to any reaction rolls that you make. However, I need to make my attack roll to see how well Stacy does.
You mean she's going for your legs?
That's a good roll too. That is a 32 to hit.
Yeah.
All right.
My AC is 20.
AC is 20.
21.
Still a
21.
critical hit.
It's still a critical hit. However, because you have a ball in your hand, you have the block reaction, which is a little bit easier to pull off than a catch. So you can do that if you want, or you can just take the hit.
I'm gonna try to block it.
Sure, why not?
Get the +1.
You get a +1 to this roll as you try to block the incoming ball with the ball.
Can I use a hero?
Yes, you absolutely can use a hero
Here
point.
you go, Jim. We don't need that anymore. I mean, we do.
Even
but-
better.
Okay, that's way better. That is a 19 on the die.
That
So
was
that
plus the 1.
plus the 1, so that's a 20 plus which one?
Acrobatics?
21.
Your acrobatics is only a +1.
Yes.
Okay, so
Lizard folk are not very acrobatic.
I'm mostly tail.
Okay, no, I gotcha. Her attack roll was a 32.
Yeah.
So I believe that still makes your result a critical failure. What happens on a critical failure?
I fail to block the ball and it hits me and I'm out.
Yeah, so the ball, like you try to get the ball, but you apparently are not a very swift gator, and it just boom hits you in the shoulder. Stacy's like, yes! And there is a blur and a shift, and you are now on the bleachers.
Cool.
Chauncey, you're all alone. All alone on the field.
Better be catching some balls, man.
Oh God.
Vivian, it is your turn. Do you have any words of encouragement for Chauncey?
I want to see what I can do. I will use 2 actions to encourage Chauncey. Be like, I know you're swift, bud. You can do this. You got this. You can do that invisibility thing again. That's good. I believe in you. And so that's my, I guess my
Sure,
pet
I love
talk.
it. I love it. Go ahead and make a diplomacy check, I believe it is.
Okay, that's a 24.
24 is a success. So that's going to give
Awesome.
you, I believe, a plus
+1.
Was it +1 or +2 on his?
+1 is
Plus-
+2 is a critical.
Yeah.
So
All right.
+1.
You know, your +1 to any attack, your next dodgeball attack that you make, thanks to Vivian's words of encouragement.
And then can I, because that's 2 actions, right?
Right.
So could I intimidating glare? Let's go with Stacy.
I would say that she probably isn't looking at you and paying attention. You can make an intimidation check, but you
Yeah.
would just you would have to like
Can
shout
I-
down to her. To
Can
do
I?
that.
Is
Yeah,
shouting?
you
an
absolutely can do that though. Yeah.
action? Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Hey, Stacy. With my gator eyes, I'm just gonna stare at her.
Make your intimidation check.
19.
19. Stacy is laser focused on the game and is not distracted by
so
your
Stacey.
call. Like
So
she is.
Stacy.
Right?
Yeah, it's very Stacy.
Ugh.
Like this is Stacy's in the zone.
Stacy's in her element.
This is her game. You know, this is what she does. It is Steve Lax's turn, but he's just on the sidelines moping, and that takes us up to the next person who would have an action. Actually, Felkatha would go next, and he actually is going to take a moment to look down at the king who stands there and says, "You're all alone. You're all alone, and now you're gonna lose. You're mine, rat." He's gonna make an intimidation check. This is against your will DC, which
Okay.
is 10 plus your will save modifier.
Okay.
God, that is a natural 20. That is a natural 20. What happens on a critical success with demoralizing, Ria, since you do this a lot?
On a critical one, I just don't know about a critical one. I just know if I scare somebody, they get frightened too. I'm gonna guess if it's critical, maybe it's a frightened 3.
Let's see. On a critical success, you become frightened too.
It is frightened too. Okay,
So you just become you feel it. It's like everything just sort of like slows down around you. You realize that you are all alone. There's still 2 opponents. You can't even see one of them. And it was all because you just reached out and put the crown on your own head. You did this completely to yourself. There's no one to blame but Chauncey. The crushing weight of it just bears down on you. Take a -2 penalty to basically everything. As we pass on to the next turn, which is yours. Or no, Rias. You see, like, Chauncey's like, like, things don't look good for him. He's like looking, it's like Stacy's like glaring at him. He's looking like he's shaky in his boots. What do you do?
I'm going to. I want to look down and be like, Chauncey! I give you a thumbs up. I cast guidance on you.
Hey, I like it.
So you get
It's gonna give you an additional +1
give you some
bonus.
guidance.
I do have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Since I encouraged Chauncey
Yeah.
earlier, so that's a +1,
Yep.
and then he's a -2. So that would that have just put him at a -1?
Basically, it would your encouragement and they effectively like cancel out. But then now that Rias is throwing some guidance on there, that bumps him up a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
you're sort of counteracting these different negatives and,
So actually,
and
because he has a little bit
positives.
farther, guidance is only 30 feet, so I would actually activate my range. My
Oh
range
yeah,
spell, so
sure.
then I could
Yeah, so
actually
you use
hit
an
him with
extra
that.
action to give yourself the boost.
Yeah, and I would just look over at fuck off and just be like,
You get like a
just see
little
the tongue.
a little ray of hope as you look up and Riaz is giving you the thumbs up.
I don't see him at all. I just see Cheez at the bottom, like doing his little dance.
Cheez is doing his dance, yeah.
It's all for
From
you,
somewhere,
Cheez.
Cheez pulls out this weird little drum with two things, and he's going back and forth with it. He's looking at you.
I always knew it.
But before that can happen, it's the Filthmonger's turn. Or no, Chauncey,
it's my
you're
turn.
next. You're next.
Oh.
I'm so silly. It's your turn. I'm ridiculous. It's your turn. I believe you threw both of the balls that were at your feet. There is one where Vivian was just moments before. You could get to it with a step.
I am going to wink out of existence.
Hey, there we go. Invisibility, huh?
Move
Hey.
near the ball,
Ah.
but not grab it.
Ah, leaving no trace of your passage.
Yes.
Now it is the Filthmonger's turn. And the Filthmonger, you all hear this like buzzing. There's like a confused sort of like tense silence. Then nothing happens because he doesn't have a target. Doesn't know where Chauncey went.
Doesn't know where it
Hawk.
is.
Am I still locked in on him?
Well, now he might have moved.
Yeah.
You did hear some buzzing of wings.
All right.
If you want to make a seek action to try to find out where he went, then you could try to make that
That
if
same
you can
thing,
locate where he is on the field.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep trying that.
Okay.
15 on the dice. So
Plus your perception.
plus perception is 27.
27. So you're like honing in, like where did this little bugger go? Where did he go? And you see he's actually moved further back towards the wall, and like you're just purely based on the sound of the wings and the movement of the air. You're like, it's got to be where he is. Now you can make a DC 10 flat check and the perception to see if you can give a warning if
Okay.
he attacks.
Oof. No, it's only a 2 on the dice.
You must have been slightly
Just
slightly
a
off. So
little
you've used
off.
up 2 actions so far. Do you have any other one action thing you could do that might impact either Chauncey's chances or?
Really quick. Let me see. Bum, 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 bum. No. No, that's survey wildlife is a little bit different. It doesn't do quite what I thought it was going to do for that scenario. So maybe is demoralize one action?
Yes.
Great. Then I'm going to yell at that coward of a bug who's invisible.
Now, in order to target the bug, you would have to also do a DC 10 flat check. But you can do it, yeah.
It's a 2 again. I really don't know where this bug is.
Yeah, you're just like shouting
I just
into
go,
nothing.
you stupid bug! You coward!
It's just not working out for you on this turn. It is Stacy's turn.
Down gibbets though.
Doesn't see anywhere. Is going to try to make a perception check. See, like, where did that rat go? See if I can make a seek action.
Rolls a 2.
No, that's a 5 on the die.
Oh.
Really bad. He's looking around. She uses up one of her actions, not being able to pinpoint at all where this crafty rat went. She just like hunkers down, gets ready.
Quick question.
Yeah.
I know it's attacks that take away invisibility.
Yes.
Is it any spell?
No, if you make a non-offensive spell, would not break the invisibility.
And offensive spells are considered spells that do damage?
What spell specifically are you talking about? We can.
I mean, I don't want to show my cards.
Let me put it this way. Well, I don't know how to answer the question without knowing what it is.
Blindness.
Blindness. Blindness would be an attack. Yeah, that would be an offensive spell.
Is it though?
Yeah, it would. Mhm.
You're taking away their sight.
Yeah.
Is that really hurting them?
But it is a really good spell in this situation.
Okay. Yeah, that's my cards. Okay.
So Stacy hunkers down and just gets ready.
Yes.
Vivian, it's your turn.
I have a question.
Sure.
If I devise a stratagem, is there any way for me to like shout the information I find out? Like
Now, there's no way for you to share that devise a stratagem bonus with one of your allies.
Okay. But could I Oh no, that's only when I critically hit. So I'll just keep. You're doing great.
Yeah, hey, give
maybe I'll
Chauncey
do
all
a-
the encouragement
I'll
he
do
might need.
a lookout, actually.
A lookout, okay.
Yeah.
Who are you watching?
I'll watch Stacy. 'cause
Watching
she's
out
the
for
only one I
Stacy.
can
Yeah,
see.
you could see like she's like you watch her do something very similar to what you might do.
Yeah.
Where like you can tell she's just waiting as soon like you get the feeling as
Yeah.
soon as Chauncey appears, she's hucking a ball at him. So you are gonna watch her like a hawk. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Watch her like
24.
24, easy success. So you'll be able to shout that split-second warning as soon as she starts to move. The next turn that might matter would be Rias's.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Already?
Is anything you want to do? The field's gotten very narrow.
It has gotten very narrow. Like looking down, you see like one person on
Yeah.
the field. I want to shout down at Stacy.
Oh,
I'm like, hey Stacy, I know you're not very good at this game. Drop the ball.
is that a
Like, cast
command?
Command.
Is
on
that a
her.
command?
That is a command.
Oh,
There we go.
Coming in with the command. I gotta make a will
Why
save.
didn't I make a magical game?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I've got nothing.
That is a total of a 16 on her will save.
That is a failure.
You see her eyes just glaze, and you know you've got her.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Well, I would say
Yeah.
shout her down, and I can't.
You know that the very next thing she's gonna do is drop that ball. Yeah. Chauncey, you're invisible. Everybody, like, things are so. It went from like so furious and fast at first, and now it's like a chess match, and like
Yeah.
every move is so calculated. And
The
it's just
king.
like,
Yeah.
You're the king.
the king is
king
in
is by
peril.
himself.
What do you do?
Question. Let's just throw it all out there.
Okay.
I'm thinking about animating death.
Okay. Hey, you know what? It's a wonderful thing to try to do.
Does that mean I have another player on the field?
No, if you went out, the skeleton does not count as an extra player.
Okay, what if I summon Faye?
No summoned creature would count as an extra player that would,
So
that would save the
you don't
team.
think they're people?
Nothing that has the minion trait can count as an extra player.
Okay.
Though they could make it like they could make attacks or like provide cover for you and stuff like that.
Okay. Oh god, this is so difficult. I'm so sorry. I'm so
fine.
nervous from like doing this.
You're the king. You're by yourself.
Taking us all back to
It's fine.
elementary school, middle school. We're all like in that
Yeah.
adrenaline is just going.
Yeah, I'm going to summon Ted, my skeleton warrior.
Okay. Ted the skeleton.
In front of the ball.
Okay. Right in front of the ball.
Yes.
Now that takes all 3 of your actions, but I believe as soon as Ted appears, he gets his 2 actions.
Yes.
So what does Ted do, if anything? Grabs the ball with one skeletal arm
Chucks it.
and chucks
at
it
Stacy.
at Stacy. Have Ted make an attack roll.
Oh, I don't think that's gonna do it. That's gonna be a 19.
A 19. It's very close, but Stacy ducks out of the way just in time.
Should I take a hero point?
And was it 19 with all the things that we were boosting and?
Well, I rolled a 10 on the die, so it's 50-50 right now.
Okay.
Wait. Oh, but no, Ted wasn't.
Oh, Ted
Got ya.
doesn't get all
Yeah.
the.
Yeah.
Was
Ted-
she demoralized?
No, not at the moment.
Okay.
No,
Vivian's like watching her, and she's been commanded to drop the ball, so she's got to drop the ball she's
Gotcha.
holding, but she's not demoralized at the moment.
It's a 50-50.
Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna go with the hero point?
Yeah, I think you should.
I'm only just gonna put it out there. What if you have to catch something?
But I'm invisible still.
Yeah. And
It's Ted throwing it, so I still have my reaction.
I know. I'm just saying, how good's your acrobatics, man?
It's very good.
It's better than the 2 of us.
Hero point has been spent. Here we go.
Oh, we need
Reroll
a hero
it.
point, Brad.
Oh my gosh.
That was a bad 50-50.
No, it's one worse. Try as you
James
might.
Chu has left the table.
Ted chucks the ball, and it's just, you just can't connect. Even
I'm
as
sorry.
two possible futures diverge, the die goes flying.
We will never find that die.
What a
It's
moment,
okay.
though.
It's okay, James.
It's okay, you're still in the game.
You're still invisible.
You're still in the game. It is the
Because Ted could
Filthmonger's
catch
turn.
something. Ted could catch something. Like, we don't know. It's
True.
fine. It's
Ted could catch something.
fine.
What do I do here? You all hear this like buzzing, and the buzzing gets louder and louder and louder, and not one fly, but like a cloud of flies appears in the air on one side of the court, and it's this massive, almost like solid black, like swarm of flies that begins and moves over, and it just surrounds Ted, and it doesn't. I mean, they're just flies; they don't do anything. But Ted is almost lost in this cloud of flies, and you feel like, well, you're really glad you're not in that cloud of flies, because it would be really bad news. Ted just happens to be the only visible target for this. But there is another summoned creature on the field. It's just this cloud, this swarm of flies. That's all you notice.
Yeah,
from
does that
the invisible.
count?
Yeah, that counts. Did that break the rule?
Cross the
Some creatures
line.
Cross the line.
Ospheliax doesn't seem to have anything to say about it.
Okay, so then Ted just
Ted
walks.
punches Stacy in the face. Not kidding.
Ted appears next to us.
Hawk, it would be your turn now. Do you have anything you want to do?
I'm going to encourage. Oh, I don't think I should encourage, actually. That's a diplomacy roll. Nope, we're not encouraging. I will once again look for that giant bug demon.
Looking for the bug
Jim.
demon, make a seek action.
16, Jim.
All right, that's probably enough to find where it is. Now you got to do the flat check.
Flat check, Jim. That's an 18 on
Hey,
dice.
you passed the flat check.
Now, a perception check.
Get him, Hawk.
Jim!
Oh no.
The two?
Jim, didn't we not say that we each get our own individual?
You do have your own individual hero point if you want to reroll that natural one.
Can we put the zero, the hit?
It's fine.
'cause I
We're
used my
fine. We're
own
fine.
Instead of the one on the table.
You want the one on the table back? Or
Yes.
so
And
you
you
use
use
your own
yours,
personal
okay,
hero
okay.
point.
I
The one on the
forgot
table
we
is back.
had
Okay, so there's one in the group pool. That's very important to note.
27 perception.
27. So you are at the ready. That is a success. That actually might be against him a critical success. Yeah, that is a critical success. So that's going to be a +1 bonus to AC and any reactions if the fly does something tricky.
All right, that's what I do. I mean, and then I don't like. It's not gonna do anything, but like I do say, "You've got this, Chauncey."
Tell Chauncey's got it. It is Stacy's turn now on a failure. I know she has to drop the ball. Does she have to just spend the one action, or does she have to do anything else?
Just on a regular failure, she uses one action. If it was a critical failure, she would use all.
She would use all three of her. So the first thing she does, she just sort of like glazed eyes, just drops the ball, and starts rolling away. She's like, "What am I doing?" She grabs the ball, but now she still doesn't have a target. So she just, and she doesn't have a third action. She doesn't, it's 2 actions to ready an action, so she can't ready a throw. So she's kind of dead in the water at the moment. She kind of wasted her turn. Vivian, you have anything you want to do?
Oh my gosh.
I know, this is so much.
You know, I'm gonna try to demoralize Stacy
Okay.
again.
She's the only one we can see.
And I'm just gonna be like, what's my accent?
Wasn't it Southern?
It was, yeah. Stacy, smooth move.
Oh, that'll get her.
No, it won't.
Don't you have your own hero point?
I do have my.
You want to use your own personal hero point? You can, yes,
Did
absolutely.
establish this.
Okay. That is a.
It's an intimidation.
Intimidation.
check. Yes.
21.
21. Now, after dropping the ball, and then she hears you, and for the first time, when you speak, like you can see she's like rattled. She can't see her opponent.
Mm-hmm.
She's obviously getting a little out of her depth, and she looks up at you, and she's like, you can see her like grit her teeth, but she spends a little bit too long looking at you. She's distracted now.
Mm-hmm.
She's frightened. 1.
Got her.
Great.
Rias, you would have the next action where anybody would do anything. What do you do?
Goodness. I would look at Hawk. I notice that you're like watching. Like, did you find the buggy man?
I've got him.
Where?
And I'll just point towards where I'm looking, because like my eyes are like locked. I'm just gonna be like,
Yeah, because he's watching it. Yeah.
right there.
Right there. Can I make a perception check to? No.
Well, I would say that you don't need to make a perception check to because since Hawk can point it out to you, I would say that you can target the square. You would just need to make the DC 10 flat check because it's still invisible.
Okay, to in order to target it. All right, let's try that first. DC
Come on.
10 has a 4.
Yeah, did you have a personal hero point?
I do have a personal hero point.
Do it.
Spend
Use a flat check.
Spend it so I can get that. An 11.
Hey,
Yes,
barely
yes,
missed it.
11.
All right.
Come on.
What are you targeting with?
So Sirius opens his eyes, and like the centers of his eyes, like you see like a little bit of the smoke come out. He reaches up his hand, and like the smoke ball comes out, and he just flings it forward right where it's at. I'm casting Ray of Enfeeblement, Jim.
Oh, interesting.
To see if I can hit the thing. So
I gotta make a fortitude save, I believe.
Yes, fortitude save.
Ooh, that's probably not very good. That is an 18 total.
18 is a failure, Jim. Yes. You see that it hits this invisibility, and poof, you see this puff happen. You are going to be enfeebled 2.
Enfeebled 2?
Enfeebled
It's no
2,
good.
Jim.
You all can hear like the constant buzzing of its wings, like sort of like dim a little bit, and you hear this little cry, like, "Oh, I'm so weak and enfeebled. Oh, it sucks. Oh, not cool, man."
And then I'll just shout, "Come on, Chauncey, wherever you are."
Let's go, Chauncey. It's all on you.
Chauncey.
Now, in the cloud of flies, all that really means, because there's no other effect that the skeleton would be susceptible to, is that he has to make a DC 5 flat check to target anything, because the clouds, it basically provides concealment.
Okay.
So you can still do stuff, it's just there's a DC 5 flat check to target outside of the swarm.
Okay. First, I'm going to use a free action. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Cackle. Is there any dodgeballs on my side? They're all on the opposite side, correct?
I think you still have 1.
Okay, so Chauncey is going to move to that one.
Okay.
Pick it up.
Yep.
Ted is going to move across and grab a ball from their side.
Oh, interesting. Steve or Felkatha, when he sees this, is like, "You can't do that. They're crossing the line. Their teams just crossed the line." And Ospheliax is standing. He's like, "Well, I know I don't. I don't think that one's not. That's not the king. That's actually a summoned skeleton guy. That's you're wrong about that." Felkatha's like, "No, they're cheating. This is stupid. I hate this game." But Ted walks across and just grabs the ball. Now that's his 2 actions, so he's standing there, but he's got the ball in his hand. Yeah.
Awesome. That's my turn. I'm sorry, guys. I
thought you had 1 more action because you cackled for free. You walked over and grabbed the ball.
Which is 2.
You still have 1 action.
Oh. I'm gonna. Oh, shit.
It's only her.
You gotta hit him some point.
You're the only one that can.
They each have a ball in their hands, supposedly, so they cannot catch it and get you out.
She's demoralized.
And I'll be honest. I'm gonna chuck it at Stacy.
You gotta chuck it at Stacy. What other choice do you have?
Stacy's mom does not have it going on. There it
Roll
is.
your attack.
Got it.
I mean, it's a 22.
22 is a hit.
Okay.
That is a success.
No, Chauncey has more bonuses than Ted.
And she's flat-footed because you were invisible.
Oh,
so
yes.
it's a pretty solid success. It's not a critical success, but it's a solid success. She's looking around. She's shaken. She's distracted by Vivian. She didn't even see where the ball was coming from. Just comes chucking right at her. She tries to spin to block and rolls That would be because she's demoralized, a 13.
Yes!
Tries to get the ball around, but she's too distracted by what's going on up in the stands. Vivian
All right.
shouting down at her. And just before she gets the ball in place, it hits her right on the arm. And she looks down at it and it's just like, she drops to her knees. And then poof, she's up in the stands.
King Chauncey! King Chauncey!
You are visible now.
Oh, yep.
You are visible now. And it is the Filthmonger's turn. Up in the stands, Felkoth is like, get him now! Just end this stupid game! And you hear, Hero Point! Hero Point! Yes!
Okay.
You hear this, and it's getting closer and closer to the line. And then this ball just out of nowhere. Now, Hawk, you were watching. You give the warning. You had a regular success, right?
You said I had a
Critical success. So that's a +1 bonus to your AC. But you were flat-footed because he was invisible, so it's a total of -1 to your regular AC. As this creature tries to make an enfeebled little
Cool. We got
Tries
this,
to check
we
it at
got
you.
this.
that is a total of a 19.
21 AC, baby.
Now, I will say, the ball's coming at you. Even on a miss, you have the ability to use your reaction to catch. Doesn't have to be a hit that you catch. It could just be a miss that you try to catch.
Yeah, but it's a failure.
Sure, you critically fail, you got a problem.
2 hero points.
That is, we have 1. Wait, what is the DC that I can use to catch it?
The DC is the attack roll.
You put the one in there.
So that it would be a DC 18.
And then what do I add to that?
It's acrobatics to try to catch.
How's your acrobatics?
This is the
Is it
time to go
better
to the
than the lizard
cinematic
people?
cinematic
I hope
mode.
so.
Here it is.
I'm gonna try to catch
Here
it.
it comes.
Come on, King.
This
You're
is
the
for
king. Come on,
everything.
King.
See.
I'm gonna use a hero point.
Come on.
Please don't. I will
He's the
ruin your
king.
family.
He's the king.
It's not great.
What's the total?
What's the total?
The 19.
A 19? Yeah. A 19 is a success. It was DC 18. DC James. It was DC 18. It was just the thing's attack roll. You did it. You did.
Wait, what did you have before?
It was 2 less.
Oh, okay, so you needed that. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
You'll watch as everything slows down into like millisecond by millisecond. The ball's going. Everybody's no. You see, Felkoth is like, yes, kill them. And the ball's going over, and you reach out with your little hands, and it is at that moment that like your eyes lock with Cheez's, and for the first time you hear that voice that you haven't been able to get through the whole time says, yeah, the guy just gets the ball. Like, end this. This is ridiculous. What are you doing, man? And boom, in the hands. Yes. There's a sound of there's a shimmer in the air, and the little fly creature is suddenly in the stands. And you, King Chauncey of Aldermont, are left in the court all alone. What do you do?
Throw the old king in jail.
You guys all see, Felkoth is like stomping across, like, no, this is ridiculous. I know they cheated. That skeleton should never been able to cross the line. This is ridiculous. I'm gonna hate these stupid mortals. I know that they must have been casting spells before this even started. They were cheating, I know it. And Ospheliax is just laughing the whole time. Like, you're such a dick. We're never gonna let you live this down. You lost that game at dodgeball to these idiots. This is the funniest thing that's ever happened. And the world shifts again, and all of you are now standing back in the throne room. And Felkoth is just fuming. He's like, no, I don't accept this. And he slams his fist, and as he does, this huge glaive just ching in the air. He's like, I'm going to kill you all, and I'll drag you to hell myself. Oh. And Cheez steps up and sits down right in front of Felkatha. Says, hold on, bro. Slow your roll. I've been trying to get through. Some kind of blockage? Y'all been messing around with the planar intercommunications? That's highly irregular. But you should have known this rat guy, yeah, he's already mine. So you can't lay claim to him anyway. This whole thing is, it's ridiculous. Quite frankly, I think I'm owed some recompense for putting my boy through some, harsh tribulations and trials. He should have never had to do that. As Felix is watching all this happen, doesn't say a word, just like steps back and watches it all go down. Felkatha is standing there fuming. He says, fine, you all have not heard the last of me. I will have what I want. And he claps his hands and disappears. All the other devils in the room, and Stacy. Stacy's like looking over, and she's like, she looks over at Steve Alax the Devourer and says, he was my ride. Can I get a, can you take me back? And Steve Alax just like, oh, come on. He claps, disappears, him and Stacy. And then the little fly guy claps, disappears. Felix is the last one in the room, and he looks at all of you. He says, well, that was incredibly amusing. Congratulations. Don't rest too easy, because the forces of hell are eventually going to find a way to break onto the material plane and dominate the entirety of it, and you will face torment unlike anything you've ever felt. But at least for today, know that you're safe. At least from us, from this. Good game. And then he claps, disappears, leaving you all alone. From the behind the throne, you hear this like shaky voice. Says, this is everybody gone? Ronald peeks out from behind the throne. Oh, good show, everyone. Well done. Really, you really are heroes. Really are heroes.
Ronald!
So, I was looking over some of the bylaws. Turns out there's a coronation process. It's very important and official, and actually, I'm going to need that crown back.
How long would it take to do the coronation process? I have
Oh,
time.
no, see, there's also a long process. I never actually signed any documents about giving up the crown.
Well, I think it was a verbal contract
It
when
was.
you said that he was king in front of demons who were essentially lawyers. We could always get them back here.
Correction.
almost died.
They were devils. Big
Yeah,
difference.
They do.
Big difference.
Yeah, they do get upset.
Sorry about that.
You've got a direct line to hell. We could get them back up here
Yeah,
while
we
we
could
talk
always do
about
that.
that.
We
Yeah.
could.
Maybe we could just take a few days to review everything and figure out this whole like who's the
You know
king,
what I
who's
think?
not the king
Review it from the
issue.
dungeon.
We can review it from a box
Weird.
of spiders.
Yeah, 100 spiders.
Yeah.
You could, totally review that.
Yes, I think that you believe everything is just fine. Command.
And that is where we will end our episode of Heroic Endeavors. Oh, that was a fun time. I tell you what, I don't think I've ever been in a situation so tense as that final catch
Did you knock
from
them all?
Chauncey.
Yeah.
I mean,
Chauncey was the most effective player
did.
for sure.
I
That
definitely
catch.
didn't.
It was only because of your guys' help that I was able to get
Yeah.
the bonus.
Yeah, those,
Without it, I would have missed it by one.
yeah.
because you were using the +1 that I got
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Whew.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Oh
That
my
was
God.
exciting. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for playing along with me. I know that was a little unconventional, but I hope you had a good time.
That was great.
I hope you had a good time. All of you out there, I hope you all had a good time as well. It has been an absolute pleasure playing. And we want to thank Paizo for hosting us here and making this show possible. It's been so much fun. We love this system. And as you can see, tonight is a perfect example of why, because it's just it's an incredible game. So I highly suggest to any of you out there who haven't yet started your own adventures. I bid you all adieu. Good night. Goodbye. Thanks for joining us. See you all in season 2.